Welcome to Season 3 of Sunday Conversations. Thank you for your continued support. Get ready as we embark on this year's journey of great content. Sit back, enjoy, and delight yourself with these conversations. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Isaac Davis. I'm here again for another episode of Sunday Conversations. Of course, I got my boys back in the building with me. I got Alex and my homeboy, Abram. We all up in here today. And today's topic is a great topic. We'll be talking about iron sharpening iron. So that's our topic today. What's up, fellas? How things going?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yes. So, Alex, I sent this, guys, I sent this video about the iron sharpening iron. What did y'all think about the video?
I thought it was timely because one of the things that we as men, I feel like we don't do or is not widely talked about is holding each other accountable. You may do it depending on who you associate with. You may do it, but it's not something that you just go out and do just to anybody. You know, you kind of see somebody struggling or you see something going on, you kind of keep it to yourself because you don't know that person or you don't have that type of interaction or have relationship. So I think it's timely because I think from the church perspective, I think we have to be in a position to not necessarily hold people just accountable, but to be there for people to make them better and also make ourselves better in that process.
Okay. Abel?
Like Alex said, it's timely. We got to be, it's something that we need as men. A lot of times, because you my boy, I'm going to excuse certain things, or because you my boy, I'm not going to say certain stuff to you. But I think it's important that we all hold each other to a certain standard. I know you, I know you. So it's important that you know me. So it's important that we hold each other accountable to keep that standard. So the video was timely, and I think it's something that's important, and I think it's a good subject for us to, dive into today.
See, we like hanging with people who fun, not challenging.
That's good.
So when comfort is the greatest enemy to your growth.
That's good.
People who keep you comfortable are killing you slowly.
Yes, sir.
And the folk who challenge you irritate you because they're forcing you to grow when you want to just be comfortable. Talk about that, somebody.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
But the problem is most of us settle for plastic relationships.
Jesus.
See, some of the relationships you're in right now is not iron, it's plastic.
Wow.
Because when you're in an iron relationship, that's tension.
Yes.
It's violent. It's
Sparks.
ugly. And you haven't had a true relationship until you survive some tests. Never call someone your best friend until they've handled you in your worst.
Wow. Jesus.
And so for me, I value having people who are not like me, because when God blesses you with people who have differences from you, you gain different perspectives.
I
love that.
Different perspectives and different lessons.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So that was the video about iron sharpening iron. And so let's keep it dope. We're going to keep it right inside of the church, right? Because I believe that this is where we miss it at. I was in a wedding and we had an opportunity to actually talk about this. And we talked about how that the church of old and how that it really hurt its members due to the dogmatic teaching of the Bible back then. In some churches that they were taught that they couldn't go to the movies, that they couldn't go to the bowling alley, that they couldn't go roller skating, that they couldn't do nothing that was secular, that was fun, because it was taught that it was sin, right? So now we bring forward where now that we have more knowledge about the Bible and where people are actually reading more now versus just listening to the man and woman of God, right? So now we get to the point to where now that we are dealing with issues or dealing with things, and now we don't want our brothers to know what we're going through, because in our society today, that if you show a degree of weakness, we are talked about, we are shunned upon, no matter what that weakness is. And I believe that that's a catalyst within the church right now, because the fact that men and women can't come to their brothers or their sisters and actually have an honest, open conversation about what I'm going through, about what they're going through, without them being judged, without them being treated differently, without them being talked about as soon as that they walk away from the wholesome conversation that the two of them are supposed to have. So, Abram, you and I are building a relationship now, even though you getting ready to leave, but we building for you.
That don't mean nothing.
But look, we're building a friendship now. If you come to me as a brother right now and say, hey, I just want to talk to you about this because it's something that I'm dealing with. Number one, I have to be accountable to you, and I have to have integrity with you. And what you're sharing with me is only between us. And then you're coming to me for my opinion, for instructions, for counseling, and also ultimately we want to pray together because we are in the fold together. So, and also to pray for you. So what would it make you feel that if you come to me and I take the information that you gave me and give it to somebody else?
I feel betrayed. If I come to you in confidence about something, first of all, I'm coming to you because I respect your opinion. I think that you're someone that can help me get past or get through whatever it is that I'm going through. So there's a level of respect there that I respect you personally, for one. Secondly, the God in you. So when you do something like that, first of all, you betray my trust, and you betray my trust, and then a little bit of respect is going to be lost because now someone that I thought that I could confide in, I find out that I can't. So.
And what that creates is rust within the. It creates rust within the iron, within the sharpening process of us building a relationship and building that bond to where you can come to me and you can be open and honest with me. Now, by me doing it, it creates rust.
Right. But I want to add something to that because what I often see a lot of times is when something like that happens, instead of me holding you accountable, saying you did that, especially when we're talking about in the church setting, I'm blaming the church. I blame the church, and now I'm church hurt, and now I'm blaming it on the church and God.
Right.
Well, God by extension, God becomes a
byproduct.
A byproduct of it. So now I distrust the people in the church. I distrust the church, and God.
Yeah. Okay, Alex. Now you and I have shared a lot with each other that people probably don't even know the amount of stuff that we share with each other. The things that you've shared with me and the things I've shared with you has never gone anywhere but between us. I can come to you because we've built our relationship. We really built our relationship through the pandemic, and actually through doing Sunday conversations together. So there's so much that I know. What would it be like if we exposed each other?
It would validate that the relationship was not genuine from the get-go. And so for me, being in that position, one thing that I like about Proverbs 27:17, and I like it from the Amplified version when it talks about iron sharpens iron, it says, sharpen one another and influence through discussion, through discussion. And I thought that was so fitting because of we having these discussions, how we sharpen each other through communicating with each other. And I think it's important that, like, if I confide in you and you confide in me, that is us sharpening each other to a place where, okay, I know that I can bring something to you that may cause friction, but there's the two things that I look at it from that standpoint is the sharpener and the one that's being sharpened has the ability to withstand that friction. And if you don't have the ability to withstand that friction, then there's no sharpening. There's nothing that's going to be sharpened in that process. So for us to be where we are, I would never think that would ever be possible because of where we are, how we move together.
Exactly. Now that's exactly how that I feel too. Because just like that, when I shared my experience of church hurt, and you was like, I'm ready to roll on them. I need to go roll on them, right?
That's right. Because I felt that from a standpoint of, one, I didn't know. And so yeah, you have been dealing with it, but when you expose it to me, I took ownership as if it was something that, you know, that you my brother. I don't want you to feel like that.
Right.
And when I exposed or told you about stuff that I was dealing with, you were like, damn, bro, I didn't know you was going through all that. Man, you good? You need anything? Like, you know, and so that part right there, just being able to share and discuss those things creates an environment or ecosystem where we can hold each other, not necessarily accountable, but we got each other's backs.
But we got each other's back, yes. And I think that the fear of exposing our vulnerabilities creates hindrances, and it hinders relationship building. It hinders the iron sharpening iron piece. It hinders men getting together and openly, vocally, and discussing what our issues are without the fear of being judged, without the fear of being castricized, without the fear of being what's the term in John Wick? Excommunicado. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So you know, so we see women mostly get together and they can get each other when in an open forum, and they pour their hearts out to each other, right? But why are we not doing that as men? We are the head. When God see us as being the head, as being the first partaker of every single thing that encompasses life. We should be the very first partakers of that, especially when it's something that's bringing healing and something that's right. Why do we have that issue as men as coming together and not doing it?
I feel like I'm guarded in that regard. Like, outside of this and maybe a couple brothers in the church, pastor, and my dad, you're not gonna get this conversation from me. I don't pour this out just to anybody, because I have trust issues in that regard. Outside of my wife, there's nobody else that will get to see or hear me talk as much as I do now. For the most part, I'm quiet as a church mouse around other people. I don't say much. I'm an introvert. But why is it so hard to be able to explain that? It's because, one, perception. You don't want to be perceived as weak or perceived as not being having it all together, and being able to hand that vulnerability to somebody that's not going to crush you. You know, I don't think, you know, I'm very competitive. So when it comes to handing that off to somebody, you know, I don't want somebody to have that one up on me. And so sometimes that can be a hindrance from me being able to be vulnerable to the right people, because I don't know your true intentions until time tells.
Okay, Abram?
You said something that was so
bring your mic a little closer to you.
You said something that was really important. You said that outside of your wife and a couple other brothers, it's hard for you to, you know, be open. And I'm the same way. But it shouldn't be that way, because well, let me go backwards. Let me touch on something that Isaac said. Isaac, you talked about us being men. So we're men. We are, when people look at our families, they're a reflection of us. So as a man, if I'm not my best self, my family is not their best self. There's some things that I may be going through that I may not be able to talk to my wife about. I know we want to say that we can talk to our spouses about everything and we're open, but there's just some stuff that, you know, you need another man's perspective on. And so us as men, we have to be able to find someone that we can confide in, that we can talk about, that we can bounce things off of. Because oftentimes, just we're built different. Men and women are built different. There's some things that I can go into my wife and say, and I'm going to get her perspective, and that may not be the best perspective for me as a man to get. And I don't want to offend anybody, but that feminine energy might not be what I need at that time.
Yes, Father, yes.
I might need a masculine response, or a masculine way to handle those emotions that I'm going through at that time. So it's really important. Us as men, we have to get over not wanting to be, not wanting to share things or not being able to talk about things, because I mean, often, you know, being a man is, you know, we could carry a lot of stuff on us. We could carry a lot, and it's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy at all.
You know, I think about situations. The three of us are bonding, so now we should have the rapport with one another that whatever is happening within the household, that you can come to one of us, that we can come to one of us and have honest communication about that. When we're having that honest communication, we should be able to check each other in our wrong. Now, it's not that you're coming to me just to be on my side. No, I'm coming to you openly, and I'm going to tell what I did wrong as well as what I feel that the other side did. And when we're the listener and we are listening for the whole truth, we have to check you in your wrong. And I have two brothers outside of us that we talk, we communicate, and when we're in the wrong, when I say that we let each other have it rawly, I just made that word up. Rawly, yes. But when we give it to each other raw, hey, what the Ice Cube said, no Vaseline, man. And I appreciate it because
You know it's coming from a real
it's
place.
no, exactly. It's coming from a real place. So how can we get there though?
I think it comes over time, because like I said, I'm guarded, you know, and so
But you've been here. We've been together for how long? Like total in the same ministry?
5 years, maybe 4. I've been here for 7, so maybe 5.
Because you joined. What year did you join?
2016.
2016. I joined in 17.
6
So
years.
sure,
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
Our relationship building started 3 years ago. So 3 years we sat on the sideline, watched each other,
Passed by,
pass
didn't say
by,
much.
talk. What up?
Oh, and here's the thing though, because you know you have those I would say those kind of easy conversations. Hey, how's you doing? Hey, right.
Right.
But when you have a real conversation, hey, how's everything going?
Mhm.
And mean it. You know, I think that's where it kind of started for us, where you ask like, hey, what's up? You know, you good? And I would check on you, and then it just started building from there. Where I think over time, when you can tell that the person is genuine and they actually care about your well-being and you care about theirs, that's when that bonding can definitely occur, and that's where that vulnerability can take place.
Okay, Abram, you and your wife have been coming to the church for about a year before you joined, or about 6 months.
I'd probably say a year.
I think it was about a year.
it was
So
a while.
watch this. You know, I watched you that entire year.
Really?
It wasn't until then I said to a surveyor, I said, I gotta reach out to Abram. And when I was meaning to do it, I would forget, or something is going on, and I'm moving inside of the ministry, right? So, but then when I did, it was like an instant connection. So, what did you watch sitting there as just a visitor to the ministry, and what created the avenue for you to start speaking as well?
I watched everyone. I watched everyone. And I'm
I can tell he was like, he be sitting there like
Look, y'all. He was out sitting in church one day. He had his arms folded like this. He sat back and
bobbing his head.
yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I watch everyone, and I'm like that. I've had experience in the past. Another topic for another day. That just it causes distrust, and so I watch everyone everywhere I go. And if you're talking about, joining the church is a very, very big commitment.
Okay.
It's this is not something that I do lightly. So if I'm going to join a church and I'm going to be part of a body, I'm going to be fellowshipping with a group of people on a consistent basis. I'm going to watch you, and I'm going to check. I'm watching Pastor John. I'm watching how he interacts with Pastor Mel. I'm watching how he interacts with the people in the congregation. I'm watching everything. I'm watching, just how people move around, situations that may be uncomfortable, how people respond in those situations. I'm watching everything because it's not just me, it's my family for one. It's my family that I'm bringing into a situation. It's me, my wife, and then I have 3 kids, 2 small girls. So I need to know who I'm gonna be around. So I'm watching everybody. I'm watching everything, and I just got a good feeling about how everyone interacted with each other. The church seems like I've seen growth since we've been there. When I first started coming, it was, very shortly post-pandemic, I believe. And it was a really small knit group of people. So I could, it wasn't hard to, it wasn't hard to, watch, the 15 to 20 people that
exactly. You're right, because that's all that was covered. You're right.
Yeah. So it wasn't difficult. It wasn't difficult. So I was able to watch. I was able to see, leadership is very important to me. Pastor John would reach out to me and that made me feel good. Having a leader that was tangible, that was a phone call away, even though I hadn't joined, still treated me like a member. Y'all brothers still embracing me, still speaking, every time I came, made me feel good. So like all of that factors into this. That stuff doesn't go unnoticed, because I've been in situations where you come and sit down and people walk by you, they look at you, they don't know you. You know how people are when they don't know somebody, they're looking at you, trying to check you out. Might not have any ill intent, but it just doesn't feel good. Coming, just the way everyone interacted with each other and me made me feel like that was the right place.
Okay, so when I approached you, I can't remember what the very first thing that I said to you when we started building relationship. How did it make you feel by me coming to you and actually breaking the ice and starting that conversation with you?
Oh man, weight off my shoulders. I ain't got to do it. because honestly, and in a moment of transparency, I think every man needs relationship with other like-minded men. So little backstory, I'm going to work every day and I'm with guys on the job and nobody's like-minded.
Gotcha.
Nobody's like-minded. We got, I work in construction, I do gas work. So you can imagine, what some of those conversations are like. And I'm coming home to my wife and my children. So I previously lived here from 2007 to 2012. When we left, went to Georgia, came back in 2019. So I thought I was just going to pick back up where I left off. I had friends that still lived here, people that I still kept in communication with, but I'm a different person. Since I went to Georgia, I've given my life to Christ. I've took it more seriously. I've got into ministry and I've just become a different person. So the people that I used to hang with, I didn't hang with anymore. So now you have a situation to where all of the men that I knew are not here. They're somewhere else. And so there's no face-to-face, no personal, and so like I'm in a situation now where all I have is my wife and my children and other men that are not like-minded, that are living other lifestyles.
Correct.
Than what I'm trying to build and what I'm trying to, achieve in life. And so it was tough. So when I come into a ministry and I meet like-minded people and they embrace me, this is a breath of fresh air. This is what I've been longing for.
Thank you for watching Sunday Conversations. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next week as we continue to bring you relevant content. Remember, God has a purpose and a plan for your life. Live life intentional.